What's going on, guys? No Guides here. Welcome back to another video. Now in today's video we're going to go over the 4-3-3 fifth variation, the false nine, which is known as Pep Guardiola's style of play, but we're going to adapt it for FIFA 21. So you want to play possession based attacking football. This is a formation for you to use. When you attack, you basically attack with three strikers, the left back and right backs can overlap, and you have basically two centre mids, one's on stay back, one's on basically get forward. So you've got loads of movement going forward, and of course with the possession tactic, it makes it a very viable tactic, especially if you're going to use attacking play outside your opponent's box, especially with that right back coming in and providing support. You're almost doubling up in the midfield because you've got three players versus conventional 4-2-3-1, and also you double up down the wing with the left back and right back join the attack. When you're defending, you basically defend in kind of like a 4-5-1. It very much depends because we do have pressure on heavy touch and attacking tactic, which I'll get onto in a second. That's to replicate more of the Guardiola's pressing mechanic, but I'll get onto that in a second. Now going straight into tactics and instructions, don't forget, if you do like content like this, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more content, and don't forget I've got other formations on my channel, and don't forget this is one of many formations you can use as well. Now going straight into the tactics, now I know it says ultra defensive, but don't worry about that, we're just leaving it in the ultra defensive slot. So as usual, I want to explain everything to use. This will be a formation to use for all aspects of the game, but mainly I would say as a balanced formation. Now in terms of defensive style, I wanted to go with press out possession last because that's the Pep Guardiola approach. In real life, you press obviously for approximately 7 seconds. I think FIFA are trying to do that, but it doesn't work too well. You might see some pro players use this, but the issue is, number one is with stamina. Number two, it will cost you more times than it'll help you. The more conservative approach is pressure on every touch. This way your team only presses when there's a guaranteed or almost a very good chance of getting the ball. So when your opponent takes a heavy touch, or he's controlling a loose ball, or he's facing towards his goal and makes a heavy touch, then your team will press. So it's a more conservative option. Otherwise, if you use press out possession loss, your team are just going to press every single second. And sometimes your opponent might not be in a good position and your team might just press for no reason, and you could just do a simple through ball down the wing. So it's very much important to bear that in mind, and that's why we've gone on press out possession loss. If you don't like it and you've used it for a couple of games, then you can reduce this to balance if you find it's too attacking, but we're leaving this on pressure on heavy touch. Now going over to the attacking width, we have put this on 3. The reason why is we've got left wings and right wings in our team, and basically we want these guys to cut inside, which I'll explain in a second. So we want them to be a bit more centralized, if that makes sense. When the left back and right back, when they do overlap, it makes it so that they end up becoming inverted wingers. That's why we've gone with the attacking width of 3, and also I want these 3 players to be somewhat close. Naturally they're quite wide apart, so with 3 you've got a good combination play and players close by, which is very easy for you to build up and outnumber your opponent. With the depth, we took in this 1 down to 4. It is very much an attacking formation anyway. We do have pressure on heavy touch, so we don't want to be too far forward, because let's say for example you press too far, you don't want your opponent to be quickly playing a through ball in behind. We know how deadly that is. So with the depth on 4, you're not too far forward where you're going to get counter-attacked, but you're not basically sitting back. That way you don't have to surprise your opponent. You're basically in a custom position where you can basically attack very well, but also defend the counter-attack if that situation arises. Now going over to defensive style, there's multiple aspects you can really put towards this. You can try long ball. Long ball does work very well, should I say. Don't just think just because, oh yeah, I want to play possession, it's Pep Guardiola Tiki-Taka, you need to play possession. I've actually tried this on long ball and it's actually not that bad. I would veer towards balance. I think balance is kind of the way to go. And then this way you've got more attacking options. Now obviously people are going to say naturally to use possession. Now it does make sense, but this is the thing. If you don't know how to use L1 triggers or you don't use creative runs, you have to leave it on balance, because possession, you can try. I'll say try it for a couple of games, but it's only if you really know what you're doing. If you're not triggering a player to go forward, like with the L1 button, if someone is standing still, you want them to make a run going forward, with possession, they're always going to come close. So what that means is if you have the ball with your CDM, your other players are always going to look to come towards you. Now this is obviously good for possession play, but if you want to get it behind, you need sometimes to make a run going forward. That's why getting behind is a very good function. That's why balance will give you the best of both worlds. So long ball, they're getting behind a bit more. Possession, I would say, is more passing around, coming close. And balance, I would say go towards balance. If you're like a gold 1 player plus and you know you don't have to use L1 triggers, then I'll definitely go towards possession, but do try possession out anyway. If we go over to the attacking width, we've gone with attacking width of 3. Now you're probably thinking, why on earth am I using 3? Do you not want to be as wide as possible? Now the formation is quite wide as it is. You have that diamond in midfield and you have the left wing and right wing. Now the issue is the left wing and right wing are too far away. The left back and right back, when they overlap, I just find that with high width, the left wing and right wing, they're almost too far apart for my liking anyway. They don't really have that attacking threat, especially with left back and right back overlapping. You don't want them to be staying on the wing. So when you have that offensive width of 3, they're a bit too closer together, and that way also when you build up, the players are more close together. And don't forget, most of the time you have a numerical advantage with 3 midfielders as opposed to, for example, the typical 4-2-3-1 where there's only 2 CDMs. So I think you're perfect on that front, but you'll see when this plays in game, you'll understand what I mean. For the players in the box, we have gone with 5. We just kept it on default. If you want, you can reduce this down if you want more with possession base outside the box, but you can if you want to go on 5. Now heading over to the instructions, of course, corners and free kicks on 1. Heading over to the instructions, now this is where things get a bit complicated. Now, I know ideally false 9 is the best thing for you to use. I know that's the kind of the Pep Guardiola type of system. That's where Messi played, but it doesn't work in FIFA. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. For certain players, it may do. If you want, you can try it, but I would recommend personally putting this player on balance. Just let him be the central striker, because if this player is on false 9, he will drop deep sometimes and you'll have no striker available. Now maybe if you're playing in Division 10, Division 9, you can get away with it. But when you're playing in Division 2, Division 3 or Division 4, you're going to really struggle, especially in Division 1. There's going to be 2 CDMs your opponents are going to always have, and you're going to struggle to get through trying to push players forward. So I'll say leave your marksman player, someone like Neymar, someone like Messi, stay central, stay forward. If you have someone like Messi, of course, or Ben Yedder, you can use conservative interceptions. That way you reduce the stamina being used. Left wing and right wing have them both on balance for the crosses, both on comeback and defense, cut inside and come short. Now what this means is that when you get the ball over here, these players will be looking to come internally, and when the left back and right backs overlap, they will go on the outside, these guys will come inside. These guys, when you're attacking, almost act as inverted wingers per se when the left back and right back overlap. So that is something just to bear in mind. Come short means that when you have the ball with, for example, your striker, these players just come a bit more inward. Now you can argue the possession does the same, somewhat the same thing, but with come short, they always come short no matter what, especially if you're unbalanced as well. I'm referring to the balanced actual attacking tactic. When they come short, you're always going to have an option. So if you're struggling with your striker, you don't want this player to be isolated. You don't want just to go back all the time. So these players will come short to come and support. We have balanced on again to box with the cross. Now for one of the centre mids, I have an attacking centre mid. I would say someone like Eden Hazard would be perfect here. Someone like Griezmann, someone like Hullet would be very good. Nainggolan. A player that's high work rates. We have them on get forward. We have them on free roam. So when they do go forward, they kind of do their own thing, and that way they almost, most of the time, they're very much unmarked when they go in their own area. They basically occupy space. When you put a player on free roam, don't think they're going to be playing like Messi in real life. They just basically occupy space. So if, for example, Dembele is for some reason running with the ball down the wing, this kind of player will kind of fill in that role. So think of this player as like a filler. That's how free roam works in FIFA. We have cover center and we have get into the box. For the other centre mid, we have stay back and we have cover centre. Now, this means that this guy will be getting forward. Now, you always want 2 players outside your box. If you want, you can leave this player unbalanced. I would recommend a high attacking, medium defensive work rates here, or a high work rates here. But I'd say just for when you start the formation the first couple of times, I'll say you stay back while attacking, and you can always venture to using something like balanced. As you get used to the formation, you feel like you can be more attacking. For the CDM, we have cut passing lane, stay back while attacking, and cover center. No drop between defenders, because I'll explain to you why, because our fullbacks are going to be unbalanced. You've got stay back, cut passing lanes, cover center. Both the left back and the right back on stay back while attacking and inverted. Now you're probably going to say, hang on, Neil. You always say to me that inverted means that they're going to go internally. Why would you want that? Why would you want your most attacking player to be on the wing? Well, in the false 9, if you put the instructions for the left wing and right wing to cut inside and come short, what typically happens is it overrides the command. So these guys, they basically come in as inverted wingers, and the left back and right back, when they go forward, they end up basically becoming overlapping wingers that are more centralized. So basically what inverted just means is that instead of them going and standing on the sidelines doing nothing, you can see, for example, like over here, the winger is almost like an inverted fullback. So he's actually playing like almost like a right centre mid temporarily. So that's why we put them on inverted. So they act as basically internal wingers. Now, the key thing is that you got to leave these players on balance. Now, it just depends. If you want, I would say start off by leaving one of the fullbacks on stay back while attacking, maybe like the most offensive one on stay back. If you got, for example, someone like Zambrotta here, whoever you have, you can, or Quadrado, record breaker, you could leave them unbalanced. Give it a try. Eventually, once you get used to defend like that, you want to use both of these players unbalanced. So how it look is come back, cut inside, comes short for both wingers. Strikers stay central, stay forward. Left centre mid, get forward, free roam, cover centre again to the box. Right centre mid, step out, rotate, cover centre. CDM, cut passing lanes, cover centre, step out while attacking. And then you have the left back and right back on inverted and balanced. Now, ideally, you want high work rates. That is, I would say, the key. If you've got high medium work rates, it's going to be somewhat of an issue. You need to get high work rates for these left backs and right backs. If you have two high mediums here, you may need to turn your CDM into like a kind of like a Busquets type system. So you might have to put like a drop between defenders, how Busquets played like in 2014. He's kind of drop in between when Daniel Alves used to overlap. And then obviously when you had later on Jordi Alba as well coming through, and when they used to overlap like that. You had the same with Abadal and Daniel Alves in the earlier days as well. So if you want to play that system with high, medium, left back and right backs, you might have to use drop between defenders with a CDM. But apart from that, that is a tactic. Now listen, give this some time. When you use this, you might be asking, oh, I have other formations available. This is an attacking formation. Formations like the 3-5-2 are still, in my opinion, better than these formations. But this is a very good formation if you're playing attacker. Now, the key thing is you have to be patient. This is the most important thing. If you're not patient, it's not going to work. In these clips, you can see you have to wait for the movement. So this is a formation. If you play quick, fast, attack and move football, this might not be the option for you. But if you play outside your opponent's box, your opponent's parking the bus, you like to pass the ball around there, and this is very much a formation for you. But the most important thing is have that left centre mid and get forward. That way you almost got kind of like a two striker system. And don't forget, you always have that Tiki-Taka outlets available. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. And don't forget as well, I do have a second channel, Nil Guides too. And don't forget, I do stream on twitch.tv/Nil Guides. Links are all down below in the comment section or in the description. Thanks for watching again. Take care and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.